Are we live? Are we live right now?
Can you come down here?
Okay, here we go.
Down here.
How's that? I don't know how many of you were in there, but what just happened in that courtroom was a miscarriage. The Commonwealth is desperate not to get the facts out in front of the public. They're desperate not to have witnesses testify. They're desperate not to have witnesses have to answer questions. And it's because they don't have any facts to support their theory of the case. They're desperate not to have the hearing tomorrow, which is why they wanted it today, in order to basically sandbag everybody so that the press, thank God somebody was here to cover it, that the press and the public didn't see what happened. This was absolutely a travesty, and the Commonwealth has been at this, and they've constantly tried to have their foot on Karen Read's throat from the beginning. It's becoming so obvious and so transparent, and it's not going to work. I can tell you this, it's not going to work. We're going to continue at this over and over and over. I hope to God that the judge sees her way clear to grant the Rule 17 motion. I think it's very obviously it's relevant. It's material evidence that we need, that Karen Read is entitled to, constitutionally entitled to, and hopefully the court sees it that way. But the Commonwealth's conduct in springing witnesses on us at the last minute, coming into court, citing those witnesses, knowing that I was on an airplane when I got the report from this new witness that they produced this morning. Isn't that convenient? At some point, you start asking yourself, is it incompetence? And then at some point, it becomes complicity. And I think that's where we're at with the Commonwealth right now. It's just ridiculous.
Can you file anything to do about
We're going to consider that. We're going to consider filing. What we're going to consider our options. We need to reconnoiter a little bit and talk about it. David and I are going to have that conversation along with the rest of our team, and Karen's going to have input on it as well. But look, there are certainly avenues that are available to us if we decide to go down that road.
Is that going to negatively impact your third-party theory going forward?
No. The third-party, look, it's not. The third-party culpability facts are not just a theory. They're facts. The facts that the Commonwealth can't get away from. They're going to come out now, or they're going to come out at trial. Our hope was to have these facts during the litigation so that it doesn't just happen at trial. But ultimately, it doesn't affect our third-party culpability facts because the facts don't change. That's the beauty of a case like this. We don't have to run from the facts. How many of you folks have seen the defense going after the facts the way we are, and the Commonwealth, conversely, hiding from those facts? Rarely happens that way. There's something to that.
Who's frustrating you the most? Is it the judge? Is it the district attorney, prosecutors? Who are you upset about?
Well, it's the process. The process that Karen Read is having to suffer through right now is frustrating me because she should be exonerated. What the Commonwealth should do is walk into the courtroom and say, you know what, we got it wrong. Mea culpa, we got it wrong. And we're going to go out and find the actual people who did this. That's what they should be doing. That's my frustration.
So is this a cover-up? And if so, who's leading the cover-up?
Your guess is as good as mine. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's exactly what we're trying to figure out.
Who do you think it is?
Well, certainly the Massachusetts State Police is involved. There are people that were in that house that are involved. Brian Albert is involved. Jennifer McCabe is involved. The rest of the folks that were in that house, there's some level of involvement by every one of them. Every single one of them. And until we're not going to rest until we get to the bottom of exactly who's behind this cover-up. Because not only Karen Read deserves this, John O'Keefe deserves this, and has deserved this from moment one. And that's why we're not going to rest.
Can you update us on the dog?
No, the court obviously ruled in our favor, as well she should have, on the dog record information. The process now is that the court actually sends the summons to the record holders. We're waiting for that to happen. As soon as the court sends that summons, then we will get the record.
Do you know where the dog is?
We don't yet. That's why we're seeking the records. Yeah. We have some suspicions, but we don't know.
Do you have something you want to say?
No, Karen's not going to talk right now. Thanks.
She just said something. I think she might have something she wants to say.
Said it feels we're the only ones fighting for the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe. And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. It just feels like no one else wants it.
And Karen, just to be clear, you didn't do it.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. and we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know.
Yes, we do.
And no, she didn't do it. No, she didn't do it. This is an innocent woman. She didn't do it.
I tried to save his life. I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life.
Why do you admit to it?
She didn't admit to it. She didn't admit to anything close to that. Nothing close to that. And you should know that.
That was like 3 or 4 times she admitted to it.
No, she didn't.
That's not true.
She asked a question. She asked a question, which is very different. She didn't admit to anything.
That's what it's
Let's get going.
A surprise with the motions to quash.
How are you a Boston cop? You're not from Boston.
Keep up the good work, man.
Thanks. Excuse me, sir. Just a moment. Aiden Carney, Turtleboy Daily News. Just have a couple questions for you. What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir? Are you a friend of John O'Keefe? Were you friends with John O'Keefe? Or are you one of these people who's involved in the cover-up? Which, nothing to say? You had a lot to say back there. Hi, miss. What's your name, miss? Are you here to support justice for John O'Keefe or here to cover it up? Just out of curiosity, just wondering. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. So I noticed you guys back there said that you believe, why did Karen admit to it? You realize she asked a question, correct? According to their own testimony? That she asked a question, could I have done it? Do you think it's possible that Jen McCabe put that in her head? Are you guys friends with Jen McCabe? Who are you guys? Who are you guys? Why are you guys participating in the cover-up of the murder of a Boston police officer? Are you a cop killer? Are you involved? Are you involved? Are you a police officer yourself, sir? We'll find out. Pulse Media? No, that's not it. Oh, he's a veteran. Okay, so were you guys involved in covering up for John O'Keefe? Are you a Boston police officer? Who are you, sir? Who are you, miss? You had a lot to say back there. You had a lot to say back there. They got nothing to say now. You got very little to say now, folks. Very little to say now. All of a sudden, they got shy. They had a lot to say back there, but somebody actually, a real reporter, an award-winning journalist starts asking them questions. What do? They run away. They all run away. That's what they all do. Don't let that guy right there, that guy is helping to cover up a murder. He's a piece of shit. Do not let that guy walk around a polite society like he's some law-abiding citizen. He's not. He's a scumbag. He looked like a cop. Didn't he look like a cop? He had a lot to say back there, but he can't even say his goddamn name. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Miscarriage of justice. But karma's coming for you, baby. Karma's coming for you. So I believe that's the defense. Tough day for them, but justice will come. Justice will come. Literally the entirety of their whole argument is, oh, she said I did it. No, she asked the question. There's a big freaking difference. I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk. Never seen My Cousin Vinny? I shot the clerk. I shot the clerk. What's happening, brother? So here we are, center of Dedham. Justice was certainly not served today. This judge is a joke. She's part of the problem now. Adam Lally. So I interviewed Jen McCabe after court. I'm going to upload that video to YouTube. The YouTube stream was not working for some reason, so I got to do it here on Facebook. So we'll save this stream, though, and I'm going to go live, do a post stream on my way home about the injustice that happened a little more in detail. But I am going to upload the video of me confronting Jen McCabe and Adam Lally after court. So stay tuned for that, Turtle Riders, and we will see you guys all shortly. All right. What's up, everyone? All right, 12 people rolling in. Okay, so look at, I don't know what's going on YouTube. Like my phone got so hot that the phone shut down. I think I've never seen that before. It's an emergency. It shut down the phone because it got so hot. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm right at like some TV. I'm in Needham right now. I think. Just got out of Canton. No, just got out of Dedham. I'm live on clearance. If you're on YouTube, Tell everyone there to come over to Clarence Woods Emerson. Anyway, so yeah, guys, I'm going to talk more in detail about this tonight on the live show, but today was not a good day for the defense at all, and for justice in general. I think we have a much better picture of what's going on here. The judge denied or allowed Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert's motion to quash the subpoena. They were both subpoenaed to testify at the evidentiary hearing tomorrow. And because Reddington and Greg Henning don't want to subject their clients to that because it would go horribly for them, they have filed motions to quash the subpoenas. And they call it a fishing expedition. It's clearly not a fishing expedition. And the judge knows all this. It's just very clear at this point that the judge does not like, I mean, you can see it in her eyes. She does not like David Yannetti, and she really doesn't like Alan Jackson. And she even made a comment towards him at the end, like, you can just do this on Zoom. You don't always have to fly out here. Because they literally flew out here for the hearing tomorrow. And then while in the middle of their flight, they file a motion to cancel the hearing. I mean, how fucked up is that? I mean, this is the most blatant miscarriage of justice you'll ever see. Like, no other way around it. I think they were saying on the courthouse steps out, 30 years of law, they've never seen anything like this before. So, the good news is, the good news is that the feds are on. Like, as soon as the feds start indicting, this is going to go away. But until that happens, this is just more and more money for Karen Reed. Now, I'm not starting a GoFundMe. I don't do that. But if her attorneys start like a fund, I will definitely most certainly share it because, this is outrageous. Like, this whole thing today, you know how much money this cost Karen Reed today to do this? To fly all these people out here, get them hotels. Like, she has to pay for all that. The forensic expert, Richard Green, is the one who determined that Jennifer McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m. And the Commonwealth is saying that, well, that's not true. He's wrong. He made a mistake. She's actually doing this. They have now, okay, so where's your expert? This is like the perfect time to have an evidentiary hearing where you hear from both experts and they both make their case about why they are right. What are your credentials? Have you done murder cases before? Can you explain how this works? And that would have obviously proven that this is all legitimate. Or, conversely, it could have proven for the prosecution that Rick Green is wrong. That would have been their chance to show. But they know that Rick Green is not wrong and that Rick Green is highly qualified and that the expert for the defense up until this point was State Trooper Nicholas Guarino, who, when he handed over the Celebrate data, a significant portion of it was missing. So he's not, he's not an expert. He's a state trooper. He's a detective. He would have gotten cross-examined and destroyed. He would have had no explanation for why all these deleted, he couldn't find the deleted stuff. He gave him all the stuff that wasn't deleted, but the deleted stuff he couldn't find because he's not qualified to do that. He doesn't know what he's doing. So that's where Rick Green comes in. Rick Green is literally an expert from Sarasota, Florida, who was flown in for this hearing at the expense of Karen Reed and now will not get a chance to testify because they also filed a motion to cancel the hearing altogether, and they won that. They won that. I don't know if you guys were watching, if it was live streamed in court. They won that within 10 minutes of the hearing started. Greg Henning spoke first, and then David Yannetti spoke. And during David Yannetti's speech or whatever, she made it clear that she's allowing the motions to quash. No questions, whatever, just allowing it. And then they're like, okay, so now we're going to determine whether or not we're going to have the hearing tomorrow. And within 10 minutes, before Alan Jackson even got a chance to speak, she had already ruled that, well, the hearing's canceled. The hearing's just canceled. You got that? We're just not having a hearing. You have the Commonwealth's entire argument here is that the Google searches, the person who did that, he's wrong. And instead of finding out whether or not this guy's right or wrong, the judge is just like, nope. And that's what a judge can do. And if you saw the way the judge was looking at like the facial expressions of not wanting to be there when Alan Jackson and David Yannetti were talking, and the facial expressions that she had when Adam Lally was talking, it was like watching your kid at a recital. Like, you're nervous for them. That's the way I would describe what she did. Like, she looked nervous for Adam Lally, like she was rooting for him. Like, come on, you got this sport, you got this champ. You'll do your, because she knows him. He's a hometown kid. They argue cases in front of her all the time. You can tell she does not like Karen Reed's attorneys. And by the way, Karen Reed spoke today for the first time on the courthouse steps. And I think she was elegant and respectful. And she was interrupted by a Boston police officer by the name of Carl Dougal, who we're going to go through our chats before. Carl has been sending these story ideas for quite some time. Carl's one of the only Boston police officers stupid enough to believe that Karen Reed did this. Like, people that are that fucking stupid should not be cops. Carl, you should not be a cop, dude. You're a fucking moron. Like, the fact that you are a police officer, that you're in charge of investigating crimes, is a threat to everyone's safety in Boston. You should hand in your badge and go sell insurance somewhere, because that's all you're fucking good for. You're a fake cop. You don't give a fuck about John O'Keefe. If you did, you'd be there on the side of the goddamn defense team. And by the way, you know who I was sitting next to in court today? A young woman who happens to be the ex-girlfriend of John O'Keefe. I was sitting next to one of John O'Keefe's ex-girlfriends. She's on Karen's side. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? They didn't know each other. I mean, logic would think like the ex-girlfriend of John O'Keefe would not like the next girlfriend that, you know, comes along. Like, logic would tell you that. Nobody ever likes the ex, you know, like, that's not a thing. She's there with Karen Reed to support her. And they didn't even know each other before this all went down. Because she's got a brain. She's not stupid. And all of you have brains. Everybody following this case knows what happened. Judge Cannone knows what happened. Adam Lally knows what happens. And, by the way, I confronted Adam Lally on my way into the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds, and I'm going to be uploading that video as well onto YouTube. Is the Jen McCabe video up? Have I don't know if you guys can, I can read the comments when they come up. Carl Dougal is his name, I believe, yeah. Has the Jen McCabe confrontation video been uploaded to YouTube yet? Let me know in the comments if you've seen it already. Because I do confront her and Matt McCabe for about 2 minutes there. I accompany them to their car. And they sat across from me the whole time. They went and told the court officer on me. They snitched. They said, Mr. Court Officer, he's taking pictures of us. And the court officer came over and was like, there's no pictures. I'm like, I'm not taking any pictures. I don't know what you're talking about. I got my phone out. I'm taking pictures. Maybe I was Googling how long to die in cold. Maybe I was reading about my kid's ozone basketball team at that time. Maybe I was doing something like that. I don't know. I mean, talk about ironic. Talk about ironic. Haven't seen it yet, huh? Okay, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with YouTube, but that video, wait till you see the video of me confronting the McCabe's. Jen McCabe, I looked evil in the face today and I saw it. I looked evil in the face today and I saw it. The way she showed up, she was smiling the whole time. Like, just a cunt. Like, I cannot wait until they take Jen McCabe away to jail and her children are crying about it. And I can't wait for that reality to set in, the separation anxiety a mother will have from her kids. I can't wait for that. And it's going, she deserves it. She is pure evil. Her poor kids. I mean, all these poor kids being brought into this shit. I asked her about, you know, the picture of, I actually asked Lally about this, you'll see. I go, well, can you say that picture of Jen McCabe's kids is not her kids when we all know it's her kids? How can you say that? So, I had my videographer there today. He had the whole thing afterwards. And Dateline was there as well. So Dateline was taking care of it all. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Dateline. But this will be on Dateline. Like, this is going to be a Dateline episode, guaranteed. And you know, there's only one reporter in town who's covering the real story behind this and the injustice that just took place in that courtroom. Everyone with the brain knows. that what we just saw, that Karen Read didn't do this, and that they are now openly in court canceling evidentiary hearings, which they're entitled to, which would show that Karen Read did not do this and that Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert were involved. They are covering it up. At this point, I find it hard to believe the judge is just, in on it. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I think I've dealt with vindictive cunt judges. I mean, no offense to the ladies out there, but like, this is like that woman judge in Rhode Island. Remember her? Darrigan, that gave that issued an order against me twice with Ashley St. Angelo, a temporary, ridiculous. She was literally just like, yeah, I'm a cunt. This is what I'm doing. I don't like you, so I'm going to make your life difficult. That is what this judge is doing to Karen Read. She doesn't like Alan Jackson and David Yannetti, and she's taking it out on Karen Read. And the next hearing date for this is July something, like late July. And she's like, well, we could do September. And then she tells, what's his name? She tells Alan Jackson, oh, we can do, you can do it on Zoom, aka I don't like you in my courtroom. Stop complaining about your traveling costs. As if you can get effective representation in a murder trial via Zoom. Ridiculous. I mean, it's just unprofessional. I've never seen anything like this. But you know what, guys? There's a God, and I don't know. I don't want to get too deep here, but God ain't gonna allow this shit to happen, man. It's not gonna happen. This is Karen Read is being tested, and she's an extremely strong woman, as we saw in the courthouse steps today. And God is on her side, justice is on her side, the truth is on her side, and eventually she will be exonerated. The question is going to be, how long will she have to put up with this? How much anxiety can a human being face? And in the meantime, every minute wasted on this sham prosecution is time that could be used to go against and find the real people who did this. Like, it's absolutely, they're in the courtroom. Guys, the killers are in the courtroom. Matt McCabe, that fat fuck. That fat piece of shit, Matt McCabe. You cuck. Brian Albert's fucking your wife. How does that make you feel, asshole? We all know it. I mean, it's the worst kept secret in the world. Worst kept secret in the world. You cuck. You fat fuck with your belly there. I mean, they came dressed in blue jeans with Justice for JJ buttons. Oh my God. How do you look your daughters in the face? And by the way, I don't know if you know this, it is affecting your kids. I believe your daughter had a college roommate, right? What happened to that? I know a little bit about that. People don't want to be associated with your kids anymore. You understand this? God, you fucking people are despicable. Despicable. So I'm going to have a lot more to say. I'm going to write about this when I get home, guys. And I'm going to have a lot more to say on the live show tonight on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. It should work fine when I'm at home. I'm guessing just my phone overheated or some shit. So I have two. But we'll see you guys all tonight at 9 o'clock sharp for the live show. The Celtics are back. The Celtics and last night was a must-win for the Heat. It really was. The more you think about it, because they don't want to, especially the way they lost big like that with the second half comeback. We have all the momentum now, and now we have all the excitement. I'm not going to say we're going to win, we're guaranteed to win tomorrow, but would you want to be the Heat tomorrow? I wouldn't want to be the Miami Heat tomorrow. In Boston, you win that. Now we're talking 3-2. We're going back to Miami. Talk about fucking pressure. Talk about pressure. They know if they lose game 6, it's done. It's a wrap. They ain't winning game 7 in Boston. No fucking way. The pressure of being the first team to ever blow a 3-0 lead in NBA, basketball would be crazy. It's happened in hockey. It's happened, obviously, to us, Bruins, and it's happened in baseball to us, the Red Sox, right? But we could have the 3 greatest comebacks in football history. We've had the worst comeback in hockey history. Actually, the best comeback in hockey history was that 2013 Game 7 against Toronto. That was the greatest comeback in NHL history. But obviously, baseball and 28-3. This would be, I don't know where this would compare to those, but it would be fucking fantastic. But Anyway, guys, stay tuned tonight. I'm gonna have a lot to say, a lot more coming on this. The fight has just begun for Karen Read. She is completely innocent. The people who did this know they did it, and they know I'm watching. They had nothing to say to me. Wait till you see the tape. Nothing to say to me. So we'll see you guys tonight. Peace, Turtle Riders.